Jazzy Beats.
I thought that today we would talk about subglacial lakes and sea cryptids, along with Organism 46B. It's something that's always interested me, and Antarctica seems to be a hot topic right now. So, something just to flow with. You. Salutations. I wanted to talk about subglacial lakes and also Organism 47B, along with other sea cryptids. All right. The reason why I have a certain interest in this is back in high school, way back in the time when we actually had to still read magazines and some of those paranormal magazines. I remember reading about some type of an expedition that was going on in the subglacial lakes and that they were finding different organisms. So that really spawned my attention or interest. But then that article, that magazine disappeared, and I never heard anything more about it. And then fast forward, 25 years, and I'm starting to hear about this expedition that involved Lake Vostok in Antarctica, Russia there, and this organism 47B, 46B, and what it was supposed to be is an octopus type of being that had 14 tentacles and also projected an ink that gave it the ability to not just camouflage itself, but paralyze people from prey from a distance. Now, supposedly, this expedition, once they drilled down into this lake, they came upon these organisms. I heard other things similar to that about these subglacial lakes, that they've encountered weird divers down there that didn't have suits and things of that nature that would lure divers deeper down. Anyway, concerning this organism 47B, apparently it came out, and once they got down into the subglacial lake towards the thermal vent, I guess that's down there, this thing came out. And this thing at first could also appear to look like a person. It was very good at mimicry. When I say that, it was projecting itself, that looking like a diver when it would come up on the team, and then it would attack from there. So the way that this was described, it sounded a lot to me like a sentinel of some type, like perhaps even connected to the Kraken. If you remember the legend of the Kraken, which seemed to come around the whirlpool and things. So I think that actually there's a possibility that these subglacial lakes are actually reservoirs for inner Earth. That's been my theory. And this takes us into what are also different extremophiles that exist around those thermal vents that they've been finding. Things like the Yeti crab. I'll put a picture of that up. Things that nature doesn't actually use its pincers. It actually uses the air off of it to gather bacteria and process its food in that way. I think that's fascinating. I think much more needs to be done about this, and thinking about all this attention that's being given to Antarctica right now. Leonard Moulton Howe's talking about it a lot. I'm hearing other people talking about it. This is very interesting about the base that might exist there and some of the pyramids that are still functioning there, perhaps. Things that I think need to be looked at, but especially when it comes to this Lake Vostok and this being 46B, 47B organism. I think that's fascinating. So I think there's a great connection there. And taking this over into the cryptids, the sea cryptids, something that I've long believed since childhood is that whatever happened here, regardless what happened, that was the extinction of the Cretaceous period. I believe that this Earth the oceans did not freeze all the way down to the bottom phantoms there. So you have a lot of different Cretaceous period sea cryptids that are probably down there multiplying from that era that might occasionally come up. You know, what I used to think something similar to that with the Loch Ness monster, which I've been hearing now, a gentleman that said he thought it was a Wells catfish or perhaps an eel sometime. So, you know, little things like that that I think need to be examined, and the possibility that we've either got portals in the ocean or cryptids, that beings that are live so deep for so long that they're starting to come up. We start dealing with that actually, and dealing with that as a reality. I've always just found it fascinating, you know, and the different witnesses all over the world that have seen different types of sea monsters. And I myself have had extraterrestrial, interdimensional encounters with a being called Mana that I've shown you before that is actually amphibian. And so it makes me wonder about some of these things that might be coming through portals, especially in the water, in the ocean. Let's see if that knocks out a lot of that out. I think they're looking for the Humboldt squid. I find that interesting. I saw a Monster Quest, they're looking for a big Humboldt squid, saying that they thought that could have been one of the Kraken, what the Kraken actually was. So just things like that are very fascinating. Another one I've been seeing a lot of people talking about is the Frog Man, some type of a large frog creature that's been being seen. So it's just things of this nature, I think, that are connected to the sea, to the ocean, needs to be taken seriously, because here on this planet, that is surely one of the unexplored frontiers, is the oceans. So anyway, just wanted to address that a little bit and give some food for thought, if nothing else. Please comment, please subscribe. I appreciate everyone who takes time to watch these videos, especially the people on Patreon. If you're on Patreon, please look at the list and see all the videos that are on there. I'm seeing a lot of people aren't seeing them. There's 20 some on there, so check them out. I appreciate you all. If it wasn't for Patreon, I probably still wouldn't be doing any of these YouTube videos. So thank you very much. Peace.